Hello vlog channel slash physical media channel. Top of the morning to ya. Okay, that was great. But seriously, how are you? Are you ready to talk about some physical media today? Now, my devoted cult members already know this. They know that this is my second channel, and this is where I talk about physical media. Our main gatherings generally occur on my other channel, which is where I talk about horror movies, and today is really going to be no different because my collection mainly consists of horror movies. But if you were not already a devoted member and you would like to join my cult, all you have to do is click subscribe. Easiest cult to join in the entire world, really. And then it also helps to click the like button and the notification bell, that way you never miss our next meeting. This is more of like a subsect of the cult. It's for the people that love physical media and just watching whatever I do in my daily life, or the fun things I go out and do. Some people think my life is interesting, so you know, that's what we're doing here. And today's a little bit interesting. I haven't done a devoted video for this specific topic before, but today is an anti-haul. So this is all the physical media that I'm gonna be donating here pretty soon. Well, no, maybe a couple of them I will include in giveaways, so I'll just kind of tuck them away in storage. But most of these I will be just giving away because movies that I don't feel like hanging on to are usually movies that I feel like are such low quality that they're not even worth doing in a giveaway. Some of these will be given away though, don't worry. Actually, a good amount of these are actually going to be giveaways, so stay tuned. Gonna be doing a lot of really big giveaways in December, especially with the holidays coming up. So you're gonna want to join my cult. Don't you want to be one of my little demons, one of my little maggots? Anyway, so I'm gonna actually just set this over here. I'm just gonna pull from the stack. We'll go one at a time. How's that sound? First up on the chopping block would be this DVD copy of Dead Snow, and it's a bummer because this is a 2-disc special edition, so I think that this is in fact like a collector's edition. I didn't like it. I couldn't get through it. Immediately in the very first scene, it looks like it's shot on an iPhone 4. It literally looks like it's like 360 pixels. It mess, okay? That's really distracting to me. This one though is not like officially on the chopping block. This is one that I am gonna give another go. I'm gonna skip forward and we're gonna see how a little bit of the rest of the movie looks, because people rave about this movie, but I could not believe how low quality it was. It hurt my eyes. It was so distracting. There are outliers, there are exceptions. For example, the movie Open Water definitely looks like it was shot on like a first generation iPhone as well, but it was gripping enough. It was interesting enough. Like I'm fully entertained by the first Open Water, or at least I was the first and only time I watched it. This didn't have the same thing going for it, and also I believe it's in Swedish. So the fact that it looked terrible, I had to read the subtitles. Too much. Too big of an ask for me. And yes, I watch international cinema. Yes, I do. I don't mind reading subtitles. I even put them on some English shows and movies. But in this case, just visual distraction, visual noise, not with it. Okay, not with it. And because I have so little space here, I'm trying to just be realistic. I don't want to overload all the available storage in my house with movies that I don't really like. It just doesn't really seem to make sense to me because I don't see myself ever reaching for this again, so why would I do that? My collection is not just about like collecting as much as I possibly can. I want my collection to feel curated, to be like, you know, movies that I love. So next up on the chopping block that I'm for sure not keeping would be Paranormal Activity, The Ghost Dimension. This is the extended cut, or excuse me, the new unrated cut. So I don't know if this is like a new edition that's brand new they just released, but I already own the whole franchise in like that little 6-movie bundle. I just don't have the brand new one. So I already own this movie, and do I have the unrated cut? Probably not, but do I care? No, because I'm pretty sure I gave this movie either a 0.5 star or 1 star on Letterboxd. It was deeply unmemorable. I don't know that I would even want to revisit it if I was binging the Paranormal Activity franchise, because that's not even something that I really do. I probably won't do that for another several years, and I don't think I'll care enough to watch an unrated version, because it's not like there's gonna be a ton more gore or something. Like, it's Paranormal Activity. They're not gory movies. What are they gonna do that's gonna impress me that much? Nothing. So that's going bye-bye, but these two will probably be giveaways. I don't know if I'll donate those. This one is for sure gonna be a donation one though, The Witching Season. I have literally never held on to a single horror pack exclusive. I don't understand who is curating these and who is choosing the movies that get sent out in horror pack, but you're doing a bad job. For example, I'm getting rid of another one. Obstacle Corpse. This is the one from the last month. The horror pack exclusives are always terrible. I have not kept a single one of them. This one is an anthology, and actually the very first short film in the anthology was decent. Highly amateur, like very low budget, but watchable. It had decent payoff. The rest of them though, I was like kind of skipping through and just terrible, awful. I just don't understand how this can be considered exclusive quality because it's not doing it. Same with Obstacle Corpse. This one I lasted about like 10 minutes into, and then I was like skipping around to see if anything cool would ever happen. And shocker, it didn't. And also movies of this low quality, like I'm just not gonna waste my time. I'm not gonna do that. I have so many movies to catch up on, especially like from the 80s, really cool movies that I've been sent by subscribers. That's the stuff that I want to spend my time on, like getting into the meat of. This nonsense, like no, I'm not gonna waste my time. At least I gave it a chance. At this point, I think that I would be better off if I just immediately donated the horror pack exclusives, because that would probably make more sense. I'd probably be saving several hours of my time in my life by doing that, but I can't. I give everything a fair chance. Horror pack just always lets me down, but anyway. Next up, we have Spell. This was also in the latest horror pack bundle. This is just kind of like a modern day mixing of Misery and The Wicker Man, and if I want to watch something like that, I'm gonna watch Misery, or The Wicker Man, or Midsommar. I'm not gonna watch this. It's not bad at all by any means. It just didn't do anything for me, and again, I don't want to waste my time. Like I would just choose one of the movies that it was inspired by to watch if I was in the mood for something like that. I would never reach for this, so yeah, that one's gotta go too. Next up, this one is a bummer, and I really thought about keeping this one because I'm sure that it's, you know, maybe a little difficult to get your hands on. Not the most common movie on the block, but that would be Madman from 1981. Again though, it's for very similar reasons to Spell, where this just feels a lot like Friday the 13th, but it's so much worse, and the Friday movies are already pretty low quality. So if I'm in the mood for something like that, I'm gonna watch Friday the 13th. This movie contained my one true cardinal sin of cinema, that it was boring. I want a hit of whatever you guys are smoking. I really truly do, because so many people on Letterboxd especially speak really highly of this movie and they love it. They're like, oh, I love the autumn vibes of it. This is a perfect fall time watch. Oh, this movie is so cozy. Oh, the practical effects are so good. But a lot of people also come to the consensus, similarly to me, that when the movie is not being good, it's being really bad. And not in a fun way. I love a good campy 80s horror movie. I've been watching more of them because they've been sent to me, including this one. But again, because I will never get through my watch list in my lifetime, I will never get to watch all the movies that I want to watch, and that is very painful to me. I just can't justify holding on to this because I know that if I'm in the mood for something like this, I would watch Friday the 13th, or I would try another 80s movie that I have never seen. So I do this to kind of like keep myself accountable, keep future Kylie accountable to like not give bad movies a second chance, because this is just one of those that I know my opinion wouldn't change. Most movies that I know that I will grow to love, I know that from the jump. Like The Shining, for example, for a long time, didn't like The Shining. Like my first 3 or 4 viewings of it, finally fell in love with it. I knew it would happen. This one's not one of those. With The Shining, I always knew it would happen for me, you know? Same thing with like Carrie, although that one was a little bit more surprising, but I love Carrie now too. A lot of movies definitely deserve redemption rewatches. I just don't think that's one of them. This one though, this is probably the best movie that I've talked about so far, just concerning like this stack that I'm going through. Sleep Tight is a Spanish film, and it's basically about this doorman who works for this apartment complex. So it's about his various relationships with the tenants in the building. The thing is though, it's a little too real. It's very creepy, you know, the stuff that he gets into, the whole movie just gave me the ick. I lasted about 40 minutes into it and I just couldn't do it anymore. I don't like when movies feel that dark and real. I like a heightened reality. It's why I like slashers, because, you know, at their core, they're pretty ridiculous. Yeah, sure, a lot of horror movies could really happen in real life, but most of them are kind of coated with a layer of irony, or they're coated with like a layer of cinematic appeal, to the point where, you know, you're watching a movie. You're not feeling icky because, you know, you're just appreciating how clever it is that someone thought to cut someone down the middle. This is not one of those. It's a little bit too real, and I couldn't get through the whole thing, but it does seem like it is a good movie. It's unfortunately got to go though. Next up, these are not horror movies, these last 3 here. First up would be Happy 30 feet. I realized that I had this in a really weird spot in my collection. I don't know if you saw that last time in my organization video, but this movie, yeah, I don't think I'm ever gonna watch it again. I was actually watching a weed tuber that I really like, and she was talking about how she watched the movie and was just kind of like repulsed by some of the stuff in it. There were really weird like racial caricatures as portrayed by Robin Williams of all people. He does sort of like a black preacher bit. He also puts on like a Mexican accent, and they use a lot of the stereotypes about like Mexican men catcalling women and stuff, and how they're like hypersexual, weird stuff for a kids movie also. And it's also about like the fishing industry and how the ending is a happy ending because humans decide to just fully give up fishing. It's just not realistic, and I feel like that would depress me because I know that it's not that easy, you know what I mean? I guess this was kind of cool because this was a Blockbuster DVD, so I don't know, giving up a little piece of history right here. But I also don't care. This, like, it's not like I liked this movie when I was a kid. I think I saw it one time. I have no idea how I acquired this DVD. Like, so honestly, I have no idea. I think that like a cousin must have brought it when they were visiting, and then it ended up in my parents' collection, and then I took it because I thought it was one of my movies. I don't need this. I've had this in my possession since I was a child, I think, and I don't need it. It's gone. The last two movies of the day are Trainwreck and Snatched, and could you guess the common theme here? Yeah, the thing is, I just feel like I'd be a little bit distracted watching these movies when the lead of both of them is pro-genocide. I think that's a little bit too much for me. Also, She's Never Been Funny. These have been in my collection since I was in high school. Like, I was really into comedies for a while when I was in high school, and so a lot of the first movies of my collection were comedies. These came out when I was in high school, I'm pretty sure, so that's why I picked them up, because they were just like in Target. And I'll be so real with you, I probably didn't spend money on these. I probably stole them because I was such a klepto in high school. Yeah, it looks like this one's 2015 and this one's 2017. I don't need it. I don't need Amy Schumer in my life. I don't think I've ever watched these since I've owned them on DVD and Blu-ray. Or actually, you know what probably happened? I probably like was too young to see them in theaters, so I stole them from Target and then watched them the one time when I first got them, and then never again. I've never watched them since. It's just amazing to me that someone with no lips can talk that much shit, you know what I mean? So anyways, that's a heavy topic, not really one for me to yak my mouth about, but that's the anti-haul. I'm really proud of myself because for a long time I wasn't making any attempt to like curate my collection, despite the fact that it was completely outgrowing my shelving. I have so much of it just stuffed away in my storage right now. So this feels good. This just feels like progress. This is 10 movies. This is 10 movies. In my last anti-haul, I think I was getting rid of 8 movies. So I'm doing real good. I'm doing real good. And some of you lucky few will probably get your hands on these in about the next month or so. If I had to guess, I'll probably be including Dead Snow, Paranormal Activity, maybe Spell and Madman in the giveaways. I would say Sleep Tight, but like, if I can't even get through the movie, I just don't feel like it's a nice thing to do to give it away. This one, I know that some people love it, so I feel like it is a good giveaway item. Some people might be missing this one in their collection, or they are interested in the unrated cut. Spell, I know that some people liked this one, and Madman, I know that that one has its fans, so those feel like solid, you know, giveaway items. But let me know your thoughts. Let me know your input, because obviously you guys would be receiving them, so your opinion matters the most. But I hope that you enjoyed that. Let me know if you take any interest in these anti-haul videos. I find them interesting. I feel like I want to know how other people are curating their own collections, because for most people what they do is like they have a bunch of movies and then they'll upgrade them to 4K and then they'll upgrade them to a steelbook and then they just get rid of their doubles, and that's kind of their whole process. But I'm a little more interested in stuff like this. Is that just me? Maybe now you won't think that I have the heart of like a true collector, but I'm more of a curator, I guess I would say. And these just don't really make the cut in the eyes of the great haunted hippie. So yeah, let me know what you thought down below, and you'll also probably notice there's some names scrolling on screen. Those are my wonderful patrons, and they really are the main reason why I've been able to pump out content on my vlog channel, because this channel's not even monetized yet, so it really is bonus content for everyone. But there's even more bonus content on my Patreon. There are 4 to 6 bonus videos over there every single month. That includes watch-alongs, that includes solo reviews for movies that I don't review on my main channel. It includes spoiler chats with my dad of classic horror movies. Like there's a whole bunch of fun stuff over there. Also, if you're brand new, if we've never met before, then also definitely check out my horror channel. That's always linked down below. You can support my next short horror film. You can follow me on Instagram, on Twitter, whatever your little heart desires. But more than anything, I just hope that you enjoyed this video and that I catch you in the next one. Bye!